Confrontation, add unnecessary confrontation, ultimately equals confrontation. This video will provide some effective behavior management principles and strategies that can be applied in the college setting. Behavior management is the process of supporting learners to make positive choices that are conducive to learning. We are moving away from an archaic belief where it's simply sanction and rewards. We want learners to take ownership in the positive choices they make that have a direct link to future employability skills. As teaching and learning practitioners, it is of critical importance that we look at behavior management strategies as preventative as opposed to reactive. Whilst being reactive and responsive is needed at times, we want to be preventative in the first instance. The fundamental starting point for creating a safe and effective for learning, including student engagement, progress and development, is underpinned by positive learner behavior. And the beautiful challenge that we have as learning practitioners is that ultimately we are responsible for our classrooms. And I want us to have confidence and the ability to reflect on how we can do this. I want us to have a variety of tools in our back pocket to use as and when situations arise. However, the first two critical principles when considering behavior management are routines and relationships. Routines allow learners to accomplish day-to-day tasks in an effective and timely manner. Routines create smoother transitions for learners within the process of learning and therefore have fewer opportunities for disruptions to occur. Relationships are really important as learning practitioners. We want to understand our learners as people, and we have to understand their why. Why are they on the learning program that they are? What is their intent and their future career aspirations? And if we know this, it allows us to effectively challenge poor behavior by outlining their future career aspirations. Ultimately, we're working with young people who are going through their formative development stages, and sometimes they have emotional reactions that as teachers, we don't particularly like. What I'd like you to do is to think about the why those reactions have happened, and hopefully have some key principles on how to address them. The first principle to consider is our language and our body language. We want to ensure that we have a positive tone, and we want to ensure that we are really assertive but not aggressive in challenging poor behavior. Confrontation added with unnecessary confrontation equals confrontation. And we have to understand that learners at times have some what we would like to call secondary behavior challenges, which could be things like rolling eyes, exhaling, shuffling in their seats, showing a little bit of aggravation. At times that might not be directed towards the teacher. It could be where that learner is at in their emotional development. And we want to think about some of the strategies that we have whilst ensuring our language and our positive tone is there. We want to use open questions and ask the learners to reflect and think on their behavior. After we've followed our college's code of conduct and our behavior management strategies, we want to ensure that before we have contact with that learner again in the classroom, we find a way to re-establish the relationship with them. Some specific strategies: think about an effective and engaging seating plan. As lecturing staff, we should have the confidence to have a routine of a seating plan, but change the classroom layout, change a more confident learner sat with a least confident learner, changing up some of their social peer groups to ensure that the lesson objectives for that day are met, and an effective engaging seating plan upon entry into the classroom can be one way of doing that. We want to think about tactical ignoring. Whilst if there's something that's low level and it's not being too disruptive, is that a chance where we'll ignore it or intervene at a different time? If it's something that's primary and severe, we obviously want to address it there and then. And the last point to consider is collaboration. We will all have a college policy on student behavior. But in the classroom, can you have an agreement between yourself and your learners on how to work in collaboration together? And it could be something as simple as respecting others when talking. It doesn't need to be a really long-winded document. I would say less is more, but devise that in collaboration with your learners, and it provides a chance to hold behavior and hold the learners accountable to the behavior that they've came up with. Bill Rogers' Classroom Behavior Guide in 2015 is a really good resource to expand upon some of these ideas a little bit further.